Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing an easy look for spring. I wanted something that was fresh and pretty and monochromatic for today. I want to do something fairly easy that you can slap on and run out the door if that is what you're needing to do. So let's just go ahead and get started. If you would like to become a member of our Glowing Gluten-Free group, please go ahead and like, subscribe, share, do all the things, and also don't forget to ring the bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a brand new post to the channel. Here is where we talk about everything gluten-free as far as makeup, skincare, even grocery shopping, and where to find good quality gluten-free foods. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Today, like I said, I want to be doing kind of a spring look. So I'm going to be doing a monochromatic look with pinks and kind of browns, bronzy tones. So we are going to go ahead and get zoomed in and get started. The first thing I'm going to start off with is my contour. This is my KKW Beauty, obviously very much loved contour stick. So I'm going to get started with my contour first. I just recently started doing this technique. If you would like to see the video where I kind of discovered this technique as far as putting the contour down first before your foundation, I will have that linked at the end of this video. And first I like to stipple the product in, especially when I'm doing this technique of putting it underneath my foundation. And believe it or not, that is about all the blending that you need. So I'm going to go ahead and put a pump of my foundation onto my Scott Barnes glass palette. Grab my foundation brush, get it evenly coated in the product. And as you get less product on the brush is when I like to start swirling the product around a little bit more and buffing it into the complexion. Alright, so after my foundation is on and blended, I like to go back with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush that I used to stipple in my contour, and sometimes I'll go back and just kind of re-emphasize that contour with whatever is left over on the brush, not adding any extra product, but just using whatever is left. Okay, so next is blush. And I'm just going to pop into my Fenty Petal Pop-In blush and pop it right on the cheeks. And this is always my thought when it comes to a quick look that's not super heavy if you're trying to rush out the door, or even if you just want to put a little bit of makeup on your face just to feel like an alive human being. What I always suggest is to focus on the skin. Because even if you do a simple eye look that didn't require much work or much effort, if you have a really good base to start with on your face, if you spent a little bit more time in that area, your face and your look altogether is going to look more polished because you have a nice flawless base to start with, and then you could even just pop on a little bit of mascara and you're good to go. And you look polished and you look like you put some effort into your look without spending a bunch of time. Alright, so I'm even going to pop a little bit of blush onto my nose just to kind of give that sun-kissed look. And I just kind of try to connect it with the blush on my cheeks, but staying up a little bit higher and not dragging it further down. It can just make your face look a little bit more dragged down instead of nice and uplifted and perky. So blush is on. Next is concealer. Again, I'm going to apply a little bit onto my Scott Barnes palette. I'm just going to go in with my sponge and start to apply it. And I like to go on the inside corner and the outside corner I like to make sure that I'm focusing the concealer in here especially, because that's where I get a lot of darkness. And again, if you're doing kind of an easy look, making sure that your dark circles are at bay or as much as they can be really brightens up your look and makes you look much more fresh and awake. So same thing on this side. And this is a great little sponge for applying concealer. This is a little sponge from e.l.f. And if you know anything about e.l.f., they are super affordable, but they pull out some really great products. And they are also gluten-free and cruelty-free, which is always a winner in my book. Now I'm going to put a little bit of concealer where I get a little bit of redness and darkness on my face, and what that concealer helps to do is not necessarily cover up any discoloration, but it just lifts the face. So it's basically like applying highlighter to your face without the shine of it, and what that does is any kind of shadowing pops that out and makes you look a little bit more smooth. So next I'm going to set my concealer with my powder, and for that I like to use another e.l.f. product. This is the e.l.f. Blending Perfector brush, and I like to go into my Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set powder and just lightly press underneath the eyes. Always make sure that you don't have any creases in your concealer before you do this. And just press that powder into the skin. And I always like to go over my eyelids, so it helps further cancel out any discoloration I have on my eyelids before I step into eyeshadow, but it also just helps set any of the foundation so that it's nice and smooth. And don't forget to go up in the inner corners again to further brighten and set everything in place. And I'm just going to go where I pop that concealer on my face down here. So now that I am finished with the cream portion of my makeup look, I'm going to step into some more powders. So that means next is my Jouer bronzer. And I am just going to pop this basically right over where I put that cream contour. And it just warms up the skin and also further sets your cream products. I always like to go on the forehead and make sure you blend it into your hairline, because no one wants to look like you have a mask of makeup on. We already have to wear masks enough as it is. And for this I like to blend the lighter and darker shades of the bronzer, and on my cheeks I like to just do that lighter shade, especially since this formula is super pigmented. Now to tie the whole look together, I'm going to go in around my collarbone just to make the whole look really come together, so that you're tying together kind of the bronzy kind of tan look to your face, also to your chest. And I also like to go right underneath the jawline, blending the colors on this one. Next is highlight. I'm going to pop into Pink Crush and Pinkaboo. Go right on top of my cheekbones. And I also like to take those colors and blend in this area as well. And then just a little bit down the center of the nose and a little on the Cupid's bow. And then once again, to make sure that you are tying together your face tones and your chest, I like to apply a little bit on the top of my collarbone as well. Okay, so I popped off camera for just a quick second and I put on some mascara and I did my brows just to save us all the pain of having to watch me do it again. So what I'm going to do is now start on the eye look. So like I said, I want something kind of nice and bright and springy. So I'm going to pop into my KKW Beauty Classic Blossom palette, which is really pretty. And I'm going to pop into this nice matte pink here. I'm going to go in with my Scott Barnes eye winger brush. I'm going to start in the crease and just build up this shadow to give a nice, pretty, light pink flush of color, which I think is very fitting for spring. Always tapping off the excess. And one way that I have found that I love using this brush is you can see this kind of unique shape here. I like to take this end and pop it right into my crease. That way I always get an even fan of color just running that corner through my crease. So same thing on the other eye. Now I'm also going to use this same brush and apply the same color right to the lid. And now with the same color, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. smudge brush and run this along 2/3 of the lower lash line, keeping that third that's nearest your tear duct clear because I'm wanting to put another product there. And you can blow this out as much as you want as far as how far you go on your lower lash line. I personally think it makes your eyes look bigger when you drag that color down just a little bit on that lower lash line. Always going up and connecting with the top shadow to make sure everything is cohesive and blended. See, looking like spring already. Now, because I said I wanted to keep this kind of a monochromatic look as well, I'm going to take the darker shade in my bronzer palette. I'm going to take a little bit more of a defined crease brush. This guy's from Pure Minerals. And I'm just going to take that color just on the outer corner of the eye. And I like to do a nice V shape, kind of going up diagonally from the end of your lashes. And just doing just a little bit of color right in there. So go up diagonally from the lashes and then again into the crease to create that V shape. And then same thing with the smudge brush, but mostly concentrating that color on the outer third of the lower lash line. And blending it up into the shadow on the lid. Now this is something a little extra that you don't have to do, but I just wanted to, just for the heck of it, I'm going to take an eyeliner brush And I'm just going to dip into this color right here back into my KKW Classic Blossom palette. And I am just going to put a little bit of liner right at the base of my lashes and only towards really the outer third of the lash line. I don't want to do a full liner today just because I want this look to stay simple and easy and quick, but I just thought that that would be pretty. And if you have green in your eyes like I do, adding that little bit of purple right to your lash line will just enhance your eye color as well. Alright, so now we are going to finish off this eye look. I'm going to pop back into my Scott Barnes highlighter palette. I'm going to go into Pink Crush and apply it right into the inner tear duct. And it just brightens up the whole look. I like to also drag this into the first third of your lower lash line, and that is why I left that blank when I was applying my other eyeshadows, and I just think that brightens up the whole look. I'm also going to dot just a little under my brow. Again, just to keep the look cohesive. And last but not least, I'm going to take this same color and go right in the center of my lid and just do a little bit of shine right in the center, and that will just catch light and bring more light and dimension to your eyes. Same thing on this side. So an easy way to gauge this is to either go straight up from your pupil as you look straight into a mirror, or you can just kind of tell what part of your eye kind of is the roundest part of your lid, and then just put it right there. And again, you don't need much, but just enough to bring some dimension to the eyes. So now I'm just going to finish it off with a little mascara on the bottom lashes. And just to make sure that the eyelashes stay dark and there's no eyeshadow fallout on them, one more little coat of mascara on the upper lashes as well. And of course, a little bit of my favorite Jouer Shine Balm in the color Natural on the lips, and we are all finished. Alright, and that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for today's look. I hope you enjoyed this quick but easy way to come up with a nice fresh look for spring that doesn't require a lot of time and energy, but gives you a nice flawless face to start with, a little bit of eye, and you are set to go. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and that you're staying safe and healthy. God bless, guys. Bye.